welcome back to the Happiness Safari podcast. My name is Nadine, I'm your host, and I'm so happy you are here. I'm sitting on my balcony in beautiful Lagos in Portugal, enjoying the view over the ocean, and I'm so grateful to be here. And it's been a long time. I've been dreaming to live in a place like that, and I've been traveling and trying to find it, and now I'm finally here, and super grateful for that. So I just wanted to say, no matter where you are in your life, physically or mentally, it is a journey and you can definitely get there, so don't give up. And to give you more inspiration, I have a super special guest today on the podcast. His name is André Roberti, and after many years as an employee and various unsuccessful attempts to create companies and associations, André is a self-made entrepreneur. As a speaker and coach, his message is listen to your soul, and you will bring so much magic into your life. He is the founder of the coaching school From the Heart and the Soul. With great generosity, he's back from California and will share with us how he went from losing everything to building a coaching school. And we met in Lagos in person a couple of weeks back, and we talked about what it means to start back from your values and how you can create a life from your soul. We also talk about the struggles of being a digital nomad and how we can better take care of our planet. From today's episode, you will learn what the energy crisis can teach you about yourself, how crisis can be a growth opportunity, how to find your deep inner values, and how you can travel without money. So the question is, do you really know who you are? Because that's the question André asked himself. I think it was over 4 or 5 years back. He will share in the interview when there was a moment in time where he had lost everything and then started from his values again. So this is a super special, very inspiring interview, and I'm so grateful and thankful that André was on the podcast. So I do hope you enjoy it. If you are somewhere and you can take a walk outside while you listen to it, maybe connect in nature, or you just somewhere cold and you're just cozy at home with a cup of tea, no matter where you are, I hope you enjoy this. Welcome, André, on the Happiness Safari podcast, and I'm so happy to be with you here in beautiful Lagos today. So happy to have you back, and we had a lovely chat before, so I don't have to ask you anymore how you are. But I can maybe just ask you, for the listeners, what are you the most grateful for today?
Today, I mean being here, enjoying this amazing nature and this place. I feel really gifted being surrounded by nature in the front of the ocean. So yeah, maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Me too. Very nice. And then we had a long chat before this, so everything you said you have to share with the listeners. So basically, we've been asking ourselves, what are your biggest struggles, or what are people actually going through at the moment? And we have some ideas, and we found some answers. But I asked you, so what is your biggest struggle at the moment? Would you like to share?
Yeah, as I travel a lot. I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a lot of stuff. I coach people. I have online programs. I do conferences, seminars, and I think as an entrepreneur, sometimes I can struggle with loneliness because I try to build something that nobody did in the past. So I'm like, I feel a little bit alone in that way. And I can struggle with that as a physical person. And but what is helping me is to feel connected in something bigger than me. And that's helping me not to feel too lonely.
Yeah.
Because I also travel from places to places.
Exactly.
I don't have friends everywhere.
Mm.
I have in some places, but not everywhere. So, but I also love being on myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I can struggle also sometimes with a little bit of stress because I have to take a lot of decisions every day.
Mm.
And it can overwhelm myself.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I don't have to complain. I really love my life and I feel very gifted of this life and the way I built it. Oh, another struggle I have can be like it happened a lot in the past. Like I was thinking like, do I really belong to this planet? It's a mess.
Mm.
Am I really useful? And I was something like talking to something bigger than me, somebody called it God, others universe, others life, others the source. And I was talking to, I like to call it God, like bring me back when I belong.
Mm.
Life on this planet is not so easy. So, but more and more I go into life, less and less I can feel that.
Mm. So you do still feel it sometimes?
Not the past months, because I think I healed one part of myself over there. It's like my soul was like, oh, I'm happy to be on Earth, and it's so fun, and traveling and meeting people and seeing so much nature. It's amazing. But also a part of me was like, there is more joy over there. There is less struggle. And so I was like in different moods. But since a couple of months, I realized I really wanted to be here on Earth as a soul.
Yeah.
There is a purpose, and I'm okay with that. And I'm here.
And how did you realize that?
I was in Mexico, and in May of this year, or May, and I arrived there in Tulum, and I was so sad and so angry about how they deal with so much rubbish everywhere and garbage. And I felt so sad about how do you take care of this wonderful planet? How is it possible to live in a paradise and not to respect the earth like that? And I was in a very beautiful hotel, and I spoke with the manager, and he said, "Yeah, that's like this." I said, "What?" He said, "No, that's normal."
Yeah.
I said, "No, that's not normal. This planet is a gift. It's so beautiful. We have to take care of it." And I said, "Give me some bags, and I will." How do you say, clean the beach?
The beach, yeah.
And if you have some people in the hotel that want to join me, so tell them. And so I started with my bag, and nobody came. But it's okay. That's life. And with that, even I was like, oh my God, I don't belong to this kind of behavior, you know? And also I was realizing I'm judging. If I was born here, would I do better?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I realized, oh, I'm judging. And I suffered so much as a child from judgment from my parents. I felt like I was adopted sometimes. I felt like I came from another planet. I didn't understand how the society is working, what they wait for me, what they want from me. And I felt judged a lot. It's like some parts of myself cannot express fully in the family. I think I'm not the only one. We all struggle with our family, parents, what they await from us, and what we want to express from ourselves.
Yeah.
And I realized that I was reproducing the same. I was judging. And I asked for help. I did family constellation.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
And just to heal that part of me. And I also realized that the way I judged something outside of me was also part of the judgment I had with myself. And how I can heal that, and how I can say, it's okay, I'm on this planet, I'm very happy, I want to help others, and I want to be fully there. And it's okay if there are people that piss me off sometimes. And if I bring more peace into myself, I will be more in peace in what I see in my travels. Because when you travel, you see so much. The way people take care of the nature, the cultures, you see so much of life. And so I started to bring much more peace into myself and not judge. And instead of judging, just understand, oh, maybe nobody told them how to do. And for them, maybe that's normal. That's the way it is. So since that moment, I feel, much more like I'm here. It's okay. Not everything is perfect. And that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also something like be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes.
Right? And I love that quote. I bought this book for my yoga students. I read them quotes after a class. And one quote is like, if you want to change the world, you have to first understand your mind, because changing your mind is just as important as changing the world.
Yes.
So, and we talked about this before, right? It's about, change comes from within, and you have to, the things, the problems, everything you experience on the outside of you is something you can solve in the inside.
Yeah. Right.
So if you don't attract maybe your dream partners because there's something inside of you which there's still some resistance why you're not attracting this person.
Yes.
Or if you're not living in abundance, then it is because you have some negative beliefs about that you don't deserve that. Or But I mean, also just coming back to the environmental problems we have, because I've been doing a lot of beach cleanups in Kenya, because in Kenya it's the same, right? You have the coastline, and it just looks like Zanzibar. It's like these beautiful kilometers wide sandy beaches. But we were also living close to the beach whenever we were at the coast, and we were stranded there at a lockdown last year for a couple of weeks, and I was walking on the beach every day in the morning, and I was like coming always back with like bags full of plastic, because I was just picking up everything I saw, and that was a tiny percentage of all the trash which was there, and I was also so upset. And then here we did a cleanup in Lagos actually last Saturday with a group of people, and there's an organization, and we got all these tools and like stuff to pick up the stuff from the beach.
Oh, wow.
And we had these nets, so you could just
get the cigarettes.
Yes, there's a WhatsApp group we organized.
Okay.
Yeah. And but actually, I mean, we collected, 15 kilos, but it was really just one bag, and we were probably 20 people from also one big beach. And I mean, it was mostly cigarettes and probably 5 kilo of sand, because we were, getting so it wasn't actually that much, and there wasn't much plastic and so on. And I was also so happy, because I thought, okay, now I'm living at a place where people are more mindful, or where but actually also people here, I mean, they have more money, but the tax is actually used to hire people who clean the beaches. Like, I mean, Maya Praia, every morning, the big beach here, somebody is coming with a big, I don't know, truck, and they're driving the whole beach and like cleaning the sand, right? And I mean, here we have proper recycling, like we have all of that. So what you're saying, you cannot really judge, like in countries like Mexico or Kenya, because they don't have that. They don't have recycling. They burn the plastic.
Yeah.
They don't, have all these opportunities. The tax money is not used for anything like that. They don't even have their basic human needs fulfilled. Like, they don't even have enough money for food. So they don't really think about where they throw their plastic bottles. And I think the problem also starts with us, because we are the ones, using them also, and also bringing them. And also, it's Western or American or European countries who are producing everything packed in plastic. Yeah. And it ends up in poorer countries outside of Europe, where we maybe, even the UK is shipping the trash there.
Yes.
So it's a bigger problem, but that also starts with ourselves. So
yeah, I also noticed that when we have frustration, the frustration we live is to put us into action. Because when I live one part of the year in Portugal and another part in the US, in California. When I arrived in California in February of this year, I struggled with connecting with people. I mean, deep connection. In Europe, we love that. I come from Belgium. We love that. And in the US, it's not so easy as in Europe about deep connection. And so I struggle with that a lot. And I had a call with my sister, and she said to me, "You struggle with that because you have to change it." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So since a couple of weeks, I'm on a conferences tour, and I make very deep exercises with my audience, with the people, about connecting with my neighbor. But if I didn't live it in the US, I won't have the idea to do it in the conferences. So I think sometimes we struggle with things in life because we have to build something new, a new way of thinking about that thing.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But that's right, like, heal your own pain. And also, exactly, as a coach, but as every human being, like, you find something. And I do believe we're all like creators, and everything we see around us is created by human beings in a way. I mean, not the nature, but everything you can see and touch. And we, like, it started with an idea in our mind, but because something was missing. Right? Something was missing, or something wasn't good the way it was. So we actually started to change it. So it can only come from there, because if everything would be perfect, the world would be perfect, we probably wouldn't evolve, because then there's nothing more to do. And so I think everything also we see on the outside reflects. You said that before you did a video today in French, actually, here on the balcony, where you also said everything on the outside reflects our inside.
Yes.
So do you want to share with us what you shared with your audience about the energy? Because that was really an interesting point.
I like to make videos for my community. It's in French. And it was a video about what's happening now in terms of heating the costs and the fuel and the electricity. I mean, you come from Germany, the prices are going crazy.
Yeah.
Same in Belgium, same in France, same in a lot of countries. And I realized that it's all about energy. Fuel is energy, heating is energy, electricity is energy. So we can say like, oh, that's a problem from the government. Why didn't they think about the fact that we depend from Russia? How is it possible that we are in such a situation?
Yeah.
And so the government is the responsible, the society is wrong, it's their fault, it's their mistake. So we always put the mistake on the others instead of thinking like, oh, this outside context, what has the context for me to learn about myself inside context? So if there is a problem of energy, maybe it's because the universe wants to tell me, take care of your own energy, much more than what you do. And then we can start to question ourselves like, oh, is my energy on the top in my job? No. Why am I in this job? Oh, because I want to pay the bills. I want to feel secure. Is my energy going high when I go to that job? No, it's going down. So what's the change you can make in your life? Change something.
Yeah.
Take care of this energy. Energy is the power. Energy is something so divine, so sacred. And we don't think enough about our energy in our job, in our relationships, in the place we live. A lot of people I coach, they live in the wrong place.
Energetically in the wrong country or city.
Yes. Yeah. And so they are, oh, I have so much pain in my back. I need some pills and medicine. Oh, I feel like that. I feel like that. They can watch hundreds of videos. They can make thousands of workshops. They can take thousands of pills. If they are not on the right place, that's the problem.
And how do you figure that out? Or how do they figure that out?
Oh, in a coaching, the coaching I do and I built is about how to connect with the soul, with the heart. It's not from the mind. So it's like the soul of the other people is telling me, please tell him that we live in the wrong place. Because he doesn't understand. He wants security. He wants to live close to his parents. He wants to live like this and like this and like this. I'm not happy. We have to be in another city. We have to be in another country. We have to travel. We have to do like this. That's what I want as a soul. You know, it's like the soul and the human personality is disconnected. And in some places you can feel connection. You know, it's what like we told about Lagos when you arrived and your boyfriend, you both felt like, oh, it's the place. We love being here. We feel like home.
Yeah.
So if you are in a place like that, your soul is just like expanding, you know? So we have to make a lot of effort, each of us, in the way we live. Job, relations, the way we eat, the food, a lot of things. So we have to learn how to change our habits, how to jump into the unknown, because we want to control everything. I want to control my partner. I want to control this. I want to control my job. And then we are stuck in boxes where we feel we are in charge and in control. Yeah. That's not life.
No.
Life is unpredictable. And when you understand that, you can just surf on the waves of life. And it's a lot of jumps into the unknown. You know?
Yeah.
When you started traveling, it's a lot of fear. I mean, you go to places you don't know. You don't know anybody. You don't know the place. You don't know if you are safe.
Yeah.
You can be stuck in a lot of fears. So you have to jump like, oh, I trust the universe. Everything is going to be fine.
Mm.
And so I think right now we have to make a lot of jumps into the unknown to improve our relations, our energy, the places we want to live, the dreams we want to achieve, the goals. And if every one of us is taking care much more about our energy, and we succeed about that, there will not be any energy problem in the world. It will be fixed. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if I'm right, but living like that, I'm much more happy.
What's the biggest jump you've taken in your life into the unknown?
So much jumps. 4 years ago, I lost everything. I lost the woman I loved. I lost the baby she was carrying. Do we say like that?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I lost money. I lost my job, and I changed everything because at that moment I coached people about weight loss. And then I started to make conferences about how do you feel when you lose everything, when you don't know what's your name. It's like we build our identity through what we have. The family we have, the brothers, the children, the partner, the relation, the job we have. But when you lose everything, who are you? That was my question.
And what was your answer? Did you figure it out?
It's like the answer was like, I'm everything. I'm into that dropple in the ocean. I'm into that leaf of that tree. I'm everything. I'm just abundance. Everything is possible. I'm just light. And when I realized that, I went a lot into nature because I was so sad. And I was so ashamed about the situation I was in. Because when you lose everything, you don't want to talk about it to your family. You feel ashamed.
Yeah.
You went through that.
But it's so brave because I feel I wanted to hide. And then when I came out of it slowly, it was when I started sharing. And that was also so healing. And I realized how good it was for me and how much I was helping others by actually sharing it. But when I was really deep down in my misery and my sorrow, like I couldn't have shared. Yeah, I didn't even want to share with my family or my friends. I wasn't answering the phone, and I was just like in my apartment in London. I was like, no, I don't want to speak to anybody about it.
We hide ourselves.
Exactly.
And so I went into nature. I was in Belgium at that moment, and I went into nature and I found a very beautiful tree, a huge one. And I was sitting every day on that tree, and I was speaking to that tree because I felt so sad and so angry. And it's like that tree was healing me. I don't know what happened, but something was healing me. And I felt so connected to that tree. And it's like I can put my sadness and my anger into the ground. It was healing me. And I felt so connected to nature. And I was like, oh, nature is helping me so much into that process. I also want to connect with people. I think that's my recipe of happiness, connection. When you connect with people, you feel like just more alive. And I went to a woman, I had to interview a woman. She was an energetic healer. And I saw her on a TEDx, the TEDx stuff. And I was so depressed, but we had a meeting. And when I feel engaged into something, I do it, whatever emotion I'm into.
Wow.
So I went there. And when I arrived, she said, "Oh, you are going so bad." I said, "Yeah, but let's do the interview." And she said, "No, we got to talk together. Maybe I can help you." And I explained the story about all what I lost. And she gave me like 4 magical words. She said, "Start back from your values." It's fine. Start back from your values. And I was like, what are my values? I don't know. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's sharing. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's, and I was thinking like, oh my God, if it's love and family, I'm I'm so bad at that point, you know? So I started to search on internet, like, how do we find our values, like our inner values? And I realized that one guy was explaining that you have the values you think you have, and you have your deep inner values. That's 2 different things. And to find your deep inner values, you have to think about, where do you put your money, where do you put your time, and where do you put your energy?
Nice. If you're listening, write this down. These are very good questions to ask yourself.
Very good, because sometimes we are stuck in some part in life and we don't know what's next. So starting back from our values, it's so powerful. And when I came back home, I was like, okay, my values, where do I put my money in, my time? It's about learning who I am. And it's about sharing what I learned. So growth is one of my values. And sharing and contribution and telling to others, making connection are my values. So if I start back with that, I have to make a conference. It's about sharing. It's about growth. It's about connecting. And I was like so depressed. So I started an event on Facebook called Do You Really Know Who You Are? Because that's what I was living. I lost everything, so I didn't know who I am. And I started to an event like that. And 4 people just subscribed. And I was stressed because I was so depressed. I cannot speak to a lot of audience, a large audience.
And that was an online, or you want to do offline event?
In presence.
In presence.
Yes. And so I said to the 4 people, like, okay, come to that conference on that day. Here is the place. And I deleted the event because I was so depressed. I cannot speak into a large amount of people. And I went there with the 4 or 5 people. And I started to speak about where I am. I mean, I said I lost everything. Maybe it's the case of some of you. And maybe we can help each other. So I started back from my values. Do you want to make an exercise to find yours?
And
they say, oh yeah, let's do that. And it was like a co-creation of a conference. And in that 2 hours, and when I came back home, I felt so happy. I felt like useful. You know? And I was like, oh my God, that's strange. I have no money anymore. No girlfriend. No, I will not be a father. And I lost my job. but I feel happy. What happens? I have to start it again because my energy, we spoke about energy, my energy was going higher.
Yeah.
So I have to start that again. So I put another conference like that, and there were 10 people. And then I put another one, there were 20 people. And then I was so broke that I hire places. It can be very expensive when you hire a place to make a conference. So to have some money back, I was taking a group of 20 from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and I took another group from 8:30 to 10 p.m.
Oh wow.
So I had just one cost of the room for one evening.
Okay.
And I had two groups, and then it became 50, then 100, then 200, then in some places 1,000 people came.
Wow.
And that small conference about do you know who you are became live the life of your dreams. And I went from Belgium to France, Switzerland, Quebec, a lot of places in the French part of the world. And then I met some people in the streets that came into my conference the day before. And they say, oh, I recognize you. You are the speaker from yesterday. Oh, wow. And when I meet people like that, I like to connect with them and to say, oh, what did you love in the conference? What can I improve for the other ones? And in 3 days, I met 3 people. They all said, oh, I want to become a speaker like you. I want to become a coach like you. So I just subscribed into a coaching school. And when I came back home, I was like, that's one of my dreams. I want to build a coaching school. Wow. Maybe that's the moment. Wow. Thank you, life and the universe, for the messages. Yeah. So I started like that.
Wow.
And I started that coaching school, and now we have students all over the world. And the story is very beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but there is a quote in the Buddhist. It's a Buddhist quote saying, the lotus, you see the flower, the lotus, his roots are in the mud.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel like we are in the mud because we struggle in life. It's not easy, and we are in very dark places.
Yeah.
But we can plant our roots at that moment from there and change everything.
There's another quote for similar to that, and it's when you feel sometimes you've been buried, like when you died.
Yeah.
Actually, you have been planted.
Oh, yes.
So that's the same thing, right? You're planting the seed, and then actually from there, you can grow. Wow. So you started basically speaking about your problem, co-creating a workshop, asking other people to help you, and then you took from every workshop you did and every conference, like your takeaways, what worked with people, and you developed it and made it better and different, and it just got bigger and bigger. Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, but yeah, I think it's all about connection. I always ask, still now, in every conference, I ask, guys, what did you love in what we spoke about? And how can we improve it? And what do you need in your life to improve yourself? Maybe we can go on that way together. That's how I like to create things.
Yeah.
And the school evolved a lot in the past 3 years. And now the name of the school is it's a coaching school from the heart and the soul. Because I realized that when I coached people in weight loss, I realized that people that came to me, they tried everything possible. They went to a doctor. They went to a nutritionist. They tried so many diets. They tried some psychics, some of them, and I realized that they confessed things to me they never said to anyone, even their husbands. And the fact that they said it was healing. And I was very surprised. And without changing any habits, any food, they started to lose so much weight.
Really?
Like 10 kilos, 20 kilos, 30 kilos.
Wow.
Crazy. It's like their soul wanted to deliver something, like a weight they carry. And the school I built was from there, how to connect with people from the soul and not from the mind. The results you can have through that way of living is huge. So I started to listen to my soul more and more. Guys, if you don't understand the word soul, just replace it by the inner voice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The intuition.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a little voice in your heart.
Yeah.
Speaking to you in a very little sound. And the voice of your head is like speaking so loud. And the biggest jump we can make in our life is to listen to that little voice and not to the big voice. And that little voice started to say to me like, and my big voice was like, I have no money. How can I do it? I feel so alone. I cannot handle it by myself. And it's not the moment. It's not the perfect moment. And my little voice was saying, and I started to listen to them. I started to travel.
How did you manage that then, if you don't have money?
Oh, I realized that if you put on Google, travel without money,
okay.
Do you know how many results you have?
No.
More than 7 million.
Wow.
You imagine?
That's a good tip.
So saying I don't travel because I have no money, it's an excuse. It's an excuse not to take action into your dreams. So I just had the money to travel for 1 week. And what's magical, it's that when you are listening to that little voice, life is helping you in a way you cannot imagine. Because on that travel, you start to meet the right people. And the right people are bringing you into other destinations. When you meet other people, when you have other ideas, and you can build that ideas, and it's bringing you more abundance in your life. And yeah, it's all about jumping into the unknown. I was in Costa Rica for 2 months last winter. And have you ever been to Costa Rica?
No.
Oh,
I heard very good
go.
things. Yeah.
If you love nature, that's the place. And in Costa Rica, there are monkeys everywhere. And I love to observe the nature.
Yeah.
And because we receive a lot of teachings from the nature and from the children. A lot of us are searching for mentors in our life.
Yeah.
Just go to nature and listen to children. Because they are so close to their soul. You can ask them questions, they have the answers.
Wow.
As adults, we are in our minds, controlling our life. And I observed the monkeys.
Yeah.
And the monkeys are going from, how do you say, tree?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have the word.
I know in German.
In French, it's une liane.
Liane. Oh yeah, I think it's the same in German. It's liane. It's maybe something like that.
It's like part of the tree that's moving.
You can hang it like Tarzan, right?
Yes, and they were hanging in one part, and they were jumping to another one. And I realized, as humans, if we are hanging to something, to a job or to a relation, we know it's not the place, we are not good. We try to find another one first to lose this one. And it's a strange way to deal with life. Because if we observe the monkey is hanging to one, he's making a jump, flying into nothing. Yeah. And then, because of that jump, he finds another one. Yeah. You know? And I realized that the most magical part of our lives, it's just after that unknown. You know? Yeah. With your boyfriend, you're very happy. But to know that happiness, you had to jump into unknown. Yeah. You don't know if it's a good one. You didn't know if you will be happy. You didn't know if if he will be kind with you, if he will be honest, if he'll treat you well. You don't know. That's why we say to fall in love, because we have to fall. And so I love to deal with life like that. I think it's also what you're saying is about letting go of the past, because when you let go and when you actually make space, then there's space for something new, right? Yes. And I really felt that, like, I had to let go because I was also so much holding on to my past and my story, and that life wasn't fair. And yeah, there was a time like I didn't want to let go of this part of my life, because this is what I thought how my life would be, how I planned it, and this is just how my future will be as well. And then it wasn't, but I didn't want to let go. And just when I really let go, then there was space for something new. Yes. Yes, that's it. But I like the monkey's example. Life can be very simple. Yeah. We make it complicated. Yeah. So just listen to that little voice, jump into the unknown. The little voice is saying, oh, you are not in the right place. Okay, we'll change. You are not with the right person. Okay, let's make some change. You are not on the right job. Okay, change. And dare to change without knowing what's next. And what's next is just magic. Just magic. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Andre, for sharing your story, because basically, usually I ask, what's your story towards happiness, your journey, but you share that with us. So at the end of the podcast, I always ask the same 3 questions. Okay. And the first one is, what does happiness mean to you? It's a journey. And through that journey, we try to find ourselves, who we deeply are. So we can touch it. Yeah. We cannot possess it. And the journey we are on to touch it is so beautiful. So happiness is not the goal we think it is. It's on the way. Happiness is sharing this moment with you. Happiness is being like grateful about internet, how we can deliver messages through this little stuff. It's amazing. Sure. It's being in a place to feel so gifted. It's everywhere, in every moment. When I see a bird flying, from its happiness. And happiness is connection. I was so shy as a child. That sick child. And For me, connection is so important. So I feel a lot of happiness in connection with my students, connection with people, connection through social media, through connection through conferences. And through that connection, I'm like, oh, human beings are so beautiful. They do their best in every moment. Even it's not sometimes some strange or weird, I think we all do our best in life. And it's a lot of happiness.
How do you feel most connected? How do you create the connection, maybe with other people?
I like to give compliments, not to be loved, but just to express something I feel about someone. I realize that we live in a world and we want to correct a lot of defaults we have. We have to work on that and on that and on that and on that. And it's easy to make a list of our defaults. And when you ask people, what's your gift? What's your strength? What's your best quality? They're like, I don't know. So I love to say it to people I meet. If I meet someone at the reception at the hotel, and that person has an amazing energy and an amazing smile, I will say it. Oh, thank you for your smile.
Nice.
It's so much for my day. And you see that people like brightening, opening, and that's an amazing way of connecting with people.
What's your gift?
Oh, I think my gift is to connect with the gift of others. When I speak to people, I can feel what's their greatest gift. And finally, it's my job. I tell it to them. I can feel also one of the other gifts is communication. The way of speaking and delivering a message. I mean, I don't know in English. I feel not very comfortable, but in French, I feel very comfortable about that. So I think it's another gift I have.
But I don't think you have to worry, because I feel people love French accents. And yours is also not that strong. And because I watched a video on YouTube of your conference here, because I wasn't there, and so I couldn't attend, but I got the newsletter and I found it interesting, so I watched it, and I mean, that's why I reached out to you. So you're definitely connected, and you reached me, so you shouldn't worry about you coaching or speaking English at all.
I love the people who are very humble. I think it's also a gift. The teams I created for my job, they are all so humble and so gifted. So I love gifted people, but also humble people. Daring to share how they feel, being vulnerable and authentic. We need a world more like that. So I love that quality in a lot of people. Being humble. It's also a gift.
True. And I feel you very humble as well.
I don't know. I try.
I think you. What do you do to be happy?
What do I do? Letting go. All my expectations. Because I can connect with stress. It's human. I mean, when I'm on a tour of conferences, when I started this tour, I was like, oh my God, it's so much money. Travels, all the bookings, the rooms. And I was like, oh, will be there enough people? And am I legitimate to express myself on that stuff? And I realized I was in my mind. So what I do to be more happy on a daily basis is to observe myself when I'm into that stuff and going into that stuff more.
Yeah.
So I realized that this inner little voice is going bigger and bigger and bigger if I stop to fill my head of information. So what I do every day is connecting with the nature. I never watch information videos. I never read.
No.
No.
Oh.
I don't nothing. I don't know nothing about what other people do. If I need an answer, I have it through nature, through someone I meet. Information comes to me, you know? So I always trying to fill my heart. And I always try to follow all that jumps. I was walking at the marina yesterday and I was like, oh, I want to learn how to drive a boat. And I was riding, I was on an organic shop in front of a plane. How do you say a plane basis?
Yeah.
In Lagos.
Oh, the helicopter. Which one? Oh, the Biosabo.
Yes.
I've been there yesterday.
It's full of vegetables, so many colors. I love that place. When I go there, I'm like, oh, it's so magical.
True. And on the other side, I've been wondering what this was. Yeah, true. That's
in the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I would love to learn how to fly.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, maybe it's dangerous. So my little voice was like, oh, let's go and fly.
Yeah.
And my mind was like, oh, maybe it's expensive. Maybe it's not the moment. Maybe, you know? And so I wrote to Joanna, do you know someone in Lagos that can help me to have my boat license and fly with a plane? And it makes me happy. And because I'm allowing myself into that crazy dreams and ideas, it's bringing my energy much higher, and I have more ideas.
Yeah.
And then more abundance in my life. And you know, it's a process following the craziness we have.
So dream big.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, nice. And the last question is, what was the happiest moment in your life?
The happiest moment? I don't know. Maybe on a stage. I was in front of 1,000 people, and the energy I felt, the energy of love and of light, it's like people were born again. And I was part of that. And I knew I was at the right place. It's so beautiful. As a coach or as a speaker, seeing people transforming themselves. It's like they are born again. And I feel very gifted to be at the first row of that in their life.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that, but I have so many. And also, it's also maybe the first happy moment, the biggest moment in my life, because I know where I'm from. The life I had, how shy I was. And I remember all the way I did, all the efforts I put into life to go there. And I just felt so proud of myself. I allowed myself to feel proud. You know? So maybe that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I usually ask for a book recommendation, but then you said you don't read. But I know you wrote a book. Is that published already?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's a book about how to find your gift.
Hmm.
Actually, I read 2 books in the last 4 years.
Okay, nice.
I can recommend them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they are in English.
Yeah.
One book is called Hope, and it's from a French medium, and all the book was channeled in 5 days.
Wow.
And it's a very powerful message about love and hope, even if we are in a huge crisis.
Yeah.
And another book was also from 2 mediums, and a French medium, and also channeled. About the title is Follow Your Soul. She knows the way.
Oh.
And it's all testimonies in the book about souls that came into earth, about their mission in life.
Wow.
And as humans, we think that our mission in life is to find that job, to do that thing, you know?
Yeah.
And they came and explained us that for most of humans, the mission in life is just to overcome a feeling of being betrayed, or a feeling of being abandoned, or a feeling of being lonely. A mission on life of a lot of souls is how to deal with money in this life.
Oh.
Is how to say no and respect ourselves. Is how to overcome an addiction. You know?
Or heartbreak.
Yes, or heartbreak. I think my mission in life is to overcome loneliness. You know?
Yeah.
And after that, I discovered that, I can speak in public. I can make conference. I feel good there.
Yeah.
So the job we can build in our life is just about do what makes you happy. Don't struggle with that. And if it doesn't make you happy anymore, change.
Yeah.
And find something that makes you happy. Find a place that makes you happy. You know?
Yeah.
Where you feel good. So yeah, the 2 books.
Nice. Very good. We'll look them up and put them in the show notes, and maybe they're in French. Maybe if we're lucky, they're in English as well.
Yeah.
And when your book comes out, then you let me know, and then I can edit.
With pleasure.
Yeah. Very good. Is there anything I didn't ask you would like to share?
No, we're good. Are we good? If you have questions, you can put it on the comments.
Yes, please do. Very good. Well, thank you so much again, André. My pleasure.
Thank you,
really. Thank you for doing this in English also, and taking the time and inviting me to your beautiful space here.
Yeah, and thank you. In English, it's a good practice. So I learn.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I think André has a very inspiring story and many things from us to learn from him. And yeah, just to repeat the questions to find your deep inner values, where you put your money, where you invest your time, and where do you put your energy. So that is maybe a nice question as a homework you can do right now and reflect on that. And you can always comment on my Instagram under the post at Nadine Yoga and let me know what you took away from this episode. And I just want to say, whatever you feel and you need, if you feel you're in a place where you need some help, you can always schedule a free session with me. And if we figure out, coaching is not for you, or I'm not the right coach, then that's okay. Maybe we figure out that therapy would be best for you, or maybe you need a business coach, or maybe something else. But I just want to say, my mission is really to help as many people as possible to create a better life for yourself, because I also know how it is, like André shared, when you are in a place in your life where you struggled. So when you are there, and no matter what, make sure you schedule a call with me, and I'm very happy to help. And then we take it from there. So just even though you don't know me, maybe you met me, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, because that's all what we need sometimes, is a little bit of help and guidance from other people. You don't have to do anything or everything by yourself. Like André shared, he was co-creating these workshops, and maybe we can co-create something too. That I just wanted to share with you. And then also I wanted to share that I am running a retreat here in Portugal, near Lagos, actually, in Montchique, from the 9th until the 11th of December, so it's already in 2.5 weeks. And we have a couple of spots left. We will be maximum 8 people, so it's almost booked out. And it is a very special retreat. We will have a healing session with psychedelics. I will do it with a friend of mine. She is a healer, and we will have small mushroom doses on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have some yoga, and obviously we'll have some integration and some sharing. We'll have healthy food, and it will just be a beautiful place in nature. So if you feel the calling and you want to heal in a deeper way, then please join our retreat. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I did other episodes about psychedelics, so check in the show notes. I will link them for you. And also the documentary How to Change Your Mind. If you look at the episode 2, that is actually about magic mushrooms, and maybe then you get a better understanding of in which way that could transform your life. So if you feel the calling, then reach out to me and let's have a call and discuss if that's the right thing to do for you right now. That's all I wanted to share with you for today. I will also add the link in the show note to reach out. André, he does most of his seminars and coachings in French, so if you happen to speak French, maybe you want to work with him, and otherwise hopefully he will expand his business also into the English-speaking market soon. I wish you a wonderful day, no matter where in the world you are. Love and